R&B Money. We up. Thanks. Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority.
Yeah, tell them what it is, dog.
Authority
on
all things R&B.
Yeah.
R&B.
In the motherfucking building. I'm talking family member.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking day one, dia uno.
Oh, he going to
Numero
Oh, I go to that place, baby, when I really mean it.
There you go.
Let's go, Tank.
I talk about a man who saw my talents and my gifts from the beginning. And said, I love that guy.
Yeah, real executive.
I put money in that guy's pocket.
Yes,
Yeah.
I take care of this guy.
Preach, man. Preach.
Since the noontime days.
Yes, man.
Huh?
Preach it, man.
From
Preach
the
it, man.
beginning.
From the
I love
beginning,
this, man.
From the beginning, man.
Terry T.R. Ross in the
Yeah. Let's go, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
Niggas don't know.
Nah, they don't know.
T.R.
They have
tell 'em,
no clue.
nigga.
They don't have a clue.
He said, tell him, nigga.
Tell him.
Trenches.
Trenches, nigga.
Like y'all, what y'all had when I first met you at noontime, it wasn't a trench, but it was trench mentality.
Trench mentality.
100%.
1,000%.
It was sun up, sundown.
Sun up, sundown.
Get in here and get to it. May the best man win.
That's it. That's it.
I walked in there like,
That's how you get cracking.
all these niggas is monsters.
That's how we made it happen. That's what we did.
Teddy Bishop, Jazzy Faye,
Brian Michael
Cox,
J-Dub,
J-Dub,
Dent,
Donnie
Scans. That was it.
Jonte
Austin. Yes.
The twins.
The twins.
That's right, yeah.
Jagged.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah.
I'm in there like, what the fuck is going? Every room.
I'm gonna tell y'all some shit real quick. And I was at a party. I was at Sal's house, the weekend's manager. And Mike Karen walks over to me and he says, I'm gonna tell you something I never told anybody. He was like, I patterned my whole company after noontime. He said, when I came down to Atlanta and saw what y'all had and how y'all had those producers in each room, and them niggas was always competing against each other because they leave their doors open. So if Jazzy's in there making a beat, Teddy hit at him and be like, oh shit, nigga, I gotta make a fire beat. And J-Dub here the dick, you know what I'm saying? And that's how the competitive spirit between all of them made them better than, iron sharpens iron.
of course.
So
Yeah.
they was all competing against each other. And they knew people dude, you gotta understand, every artist, R&B artist came to noontime.
Absolutely.
Came through noontime. You had to come through.
Absolutely.
You had to come through there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that was it, man. It was, and you came through there, you saw it. Mike came through there, he saw it, and he was just like, yo. And the good thing about us was we never wanted to be in front of the camera.
Right.
So we were always in the back and we were doing the business part aspect of it. So a lot of times, like the Puffs and the JDs, and they were in front of the camera, so it's different when you in those kind of camps or when you in a camp where niggas just handling your business. So we just handled the business and that was it. And they appreciated it because we wasn't trying to take their shine. We let them do their thing, the producers, you know what I'm saying? So that was it. That's why it worked for however long it worked. That's why it worked.
It was good competition too. It was good,
It's
healthy
amazing
competition.
competition, man.
It wasn't like
Amazing competition.
hateful competition.
What was
It
the setup of noontime as far as just the partners in it? Who were the people? I mean, just for people who don't know.
Let me give you the backstory on that. So I'm born and raised in DC. My partners, Chris and Ryan, they from Oakland, right? So they came down, they were going to school at Howard from Oakland. So they came to DC. So this is a crazy story. So the reason how we really hooked up was because Chris had some cousins out here that was heavy in the game, like deep in the game. And we came. My mom lived in Oakland.
Okay.
Nolan Park Zoo.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know
Yeah.
that gas station
Yes,
down there.
it's
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. So I used to come out to Oakland all the time.
But you didn't know them at this point.
No, I knew Chris. I knew Chris. My mom and Chris's mom were like friends.
Okay.
So I've known Chris my whole life.
Okay.
So one day, I was and it's crazy. My mom was like, "You need to meet Chris's cousins. His cousins in L.A." I was like, "Okay." So I hadn't seen Chris in years. Went up to his high school, said, "Chris, I need to meet your cousins in Oakland, man. Somebody told me I need to meet them." So I went to go meet them, went to go talk to Chris in his school, and they was like, "Well, we'll connect with you. Make sure you take care of Chris when he comes up to DC.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace him, put him under your wing." I was like, "No problem."
Yeah.
So Chris came, Ryan came up there. So we started this company, booking agency. So during that time, Too Short, Luke, what's the kids out of Miami that was hot at that time? Juvenile, but he was Juvenile, but the Trick Daddy.
Okay.
So we used to book shows at the college, at Howard, for go around the city booking these shows with these artists. So we started this company. It was called Ivory Coast. It was me, Chris, and Ryan. So we did these shows, and then Kasim went to Howard. Was like, "Yo, you guys need to come down to Kasim Reed."
Oh, was it the mayor?
Yeah, Kasim.
Yeah. Okay.
He went to Howard.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "You guys need to come down to this thing in Atlanta called Freaknik." And we was like, "Freaknik? What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
So, so we said, all right. So we did this show in Atlanta. I mean, dog, we had this was actually the biggest show in the history of Freaknik. We had Too Short, Luke, Outkast, before Outkast even came out.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other groups? It was a bunch of groups. I have the flyer, I'll show it to you. But we did this show, and we made a good amount of money, right? So Noonie was already in Atlanta, because he grew up in Oakland too. Noonie, he grew up in Oakland too, so he was already in Atlanta trying to do some music thing. So when we got to Atlanta, I'm like, "Yo, this shit is sexy. Like, you black, you can move around. The police don't pull you over."
Yeah.
I'm like, this ain't how we function in DC. Like,
Right.
nigga, you got a nice car. Nigga, that's it.
Yeah.
So we moved down. We moved down to Atlanta, and we
After the Freaknik show, y'all like, we out.
here. We here. Yeah.
Shit.
Freak nigga do that.
See, but when we came down there, niggas was already getting money in DC. Like heavy. Like niggas don't understand how heavy I was in the game. Like it yes. So when we moved to Atlanta, we already had. When I moved to Atlanta, I'm gonna tell you, I had a brand new, the 850s before anybody had them.
Oh yeah.
I had a black one. I had a 300ZX turbo. I had a McLaren.
Oh, he's going crazy.
Listen, I had a McLaren, and I had the brand new SCC 400. Remember the joints, the convertible joints?
Yes.
The Lexus when they came out.
Is that what you was doing?
Oh, I had all of that.
You ship all that to Atlanta.
Ship all of that to Atlanta, right? Chris had the Range Rover. I think Ryan had a Range Rover. So when we get down there, niggas was like, "Yo, who is these niggas? Like, these niggas ain't playing no ball. They ain't no artists. Like, who is these niggas?" Like, so that kind of attracted all of the Jazzies and the Bryans and the Teddys to what we were doing, because we weren't in the game like that as far as artists and being a ball player or that kind of thing. So we just set up shop. We figured out how to do it, and the reason why we really got put on, what really set us off was how we parlayed the play. So what happened with that was we had a group called Absolute. I don't even remember y'all remember Absolute.
Come on now, don't tell me, don't do that to me.
You remember Absolute?
Don't act like that.
Okay,
nigga.
we had a group called Absolute. You
My
remember
niggas,
that?
man. Come on, man.
Yeah. So you remember Absolute. That was our
Absolutely.
first group
Okay.
we had. So we was trying to shop Absolute. We was shopping them to the labels, and Puff, Kevin Wells, my man,
K. Wells.
K. Wells took us to Puff, and Puff loved the group. He was like, "Yo, I want to sign them." Blah blah blah. Let's go. So we was like, "Fuck, bro. We trying to be our own bad
Your
boy.
own
We
bad
don't
boy,
wanna
yeah.
be fucking what you call." So we took them. We had another deal on the table with Leora at Def Jam.
Mhm.
So we was like, "We're gonna go to Def Jam." Tina Davis,
Yeah.
my girl,
Mhm.
she signed. She was like, "I love this group. Let's sign the group." So we said, "All right, let's do it." So we said, "We're gonna take the group to Def Jam," and we took the group to Def Jam. But Puff he was a little salty about it because we didn't bring the group over to him. So he was like, "Yo, who produced the records? Like, who are the producers on the records?" And we was like, at that time it was just J-Dub and Det had produced the records on Absolute, and Teddy too. So he was like, "Man, let me sign the producers." And we was like, "All right." So what we did was we said, "Listen, we're gonna let them sign the producers, but every time it has to say read produced by Bad Boy / Noontime, right?"
Because at this point, Noonie is part. Y'all,
Yeah, we came
all
together.
Four of y'all now.
We came together.
Apart,
We
okay.
all came together. We knew he originally had the name Noontime.
Okay.
Okay, so how
Noonie.
did y'all meet? If we can
Who?
backtrack for one second. You and Noonie. Chris,
Me and Chris
Ryan
was
already
yes,
a thing.
but and then
How
when
did
we
you meet
came to
Noonie?
Freaknik,
Okay.
Noonie was already in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Right.
He was already moved there.
Mhm.
He was the first one to move there. So we came down. He was trying to do music. He was doing his music thing.
Right.
So when we came down, we was like, "Yo, we know a lot of people. Let's just do the record label together."
Gotcha.
So we all
Gotcha.
four of us came together.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Noonie had money. He was getting money in the streets. He had money. We had money. So we just put it together. We bought a building.
You sure did.
And you remember that?
You sure
You
did.
sure did.
We bought a building. We bought the little thing was on Walker Street, and then we moved to. We paid. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know King Plow, right? That's where you probably came. King Plow was the building that we bought. We paid $350 for it.
On the railroad track.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's the one you came to, but
That's the
we
one I
had
came
one.
to.
We had one before that.
Got you.
That
Okay.
was on Walker
Okay.
Street.
Okay.
The one he came to was the one we bought. We paid $350 for
For a building.
A building.
350,000.
10,000 square foot building.
Come on, bro.
10,000 square foot building on King. Like this is prime real estate right now in Atlanta. That's how much the building is worth now.
$3.50.
$3 million.
Sheesh.
$3 million. They going for $3 million over there. It's prime real estate. $350, and we sold it. We sold it with whatever.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Whatever.
So Puff wants
Goofy
the
shit.
producers.
So
but-
Puff wants the producers.
Uh-huh.
So we said, long as it's produced by Bad Boy / Noontime. I mean, yeah, Bad Boy / Noontime. So in that run, we were on everything. J-Dub and Dent were on all the stuff over at Bad Boy.
Yeah.
The Faiths, Biggie, Mace, all those records. And it was J-Dub produced by Bad Boy Noontime.
Noontime. Oh, yeah.
So people started noticing, like, who the fuck is these Noontime niggas? Like, where they come from? So I'll tell you a funny story. So I'll tell you a good story. Me and Shakir came out here to start Noontime West.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Shakir was a part of Noontime in the beginning as well.
I
At
did
first.
know that. Like,
He
but
was
see, I
supposed
didn't
to-
know how involved he was, but I
Yes,
knew
he was supposed to be the fifth guy.
Okay.
Him and Noonie, I don't know what happened. Something happened. I don't know the dynamic that happened between them, but something happened. Shakir, he didn't become a part, but me and him came out here to start Noontime West. So we were just going all to all the labels, Yab Yum, remember Yab Yum? Yab Yum, and we went to
Tracy Edmonds.
Yeah, Erica Grayson was over at Sony Music Publishing,
Okay.
right? Remember her?
Of course. Remember.
So Erica was one of the first people out here to embrace us. So we did a deal, And this is J-Dub didn't have not one record out. He did a $750,000 publishing deal with no records, 0 records out. All he had was the shit that was coming out.
Yeah.
No, the shit that was supposed to be coming out on Bad Boy.
Got you.
That was it. This is coming out on Bad Boy. $750,000 publishing deal with no records in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And then Dent goes and does Survivor and Shake gave him a $500,000 publishing deal.
Oh yeah.
Just getting money.
Off of one record. Mm-hmm. So then B. Cox comes, Jazzy comes. You know what I mean? This is after J-Dub and Dent, but Jazzy comes, B. Cox comes, and B. Cox's story is crazy. Like he was coming as like an engineer. Like you know, most producers come. He came in as an engineer. Niggas passing out, we were passing out flyers on the Clark Atlanta campus, and niggas like we was looking for engineers. So B. Cox came, and he used to come over there and engineer. So I think one day, you know how you in the studio. Remember late at night, Tank and Jay, you remember this too. Like you would be in the studio, and niggas would just be sitting around kicking it, talking. And this is the time we had DATs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So B. Cox was real slick. So he would just put his DATs in while we sitting around talking.
A little backing music.
Yo, what's that?
Who did that?
Who is that? That's you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I produce. Okay, B, shit sounds good. And that's how he got to be, came on as a producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being in the studio. He wasn't, and then Jazzy came on, and Jazzy, you know how flamboyant Jazzy was. He was just, you know what I mean?
He's the light show.
Yeah,
He's the fizzle.
He's the show, the thin set.
He's a fizzle. So him and Nooney had a relationship, and then that's how that develops, and that's how they all came in. And
How was it set up though? Okay, so because you're saying y'all signed them to other entities though, right? Like you.
What did you share in? Was it a management
Oh,
share?
no.
Or was
Yeah.
it
We owned the publishing.
Okay.
We
So
owned
you
the
guys had a
publishing.
publishing company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had over
And you managed
900 copyrights.
and you managed them as producers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we managed them as producers. So the same thing with JD, we did with B. Cox.
Okay.
Same thing we did with Puff, we did with B. Cox.
I was there when y'all did that.
And you know how that developed was because somehow, I don't know, remember Jagged Edge?
Of course.
Right? So B. Cox started working with them after nobody really was really messing with Jagged Edge. So they came up with these incredible records, and JD heard them and was like, "Oh, this is fire." And that's how B. Cox got on with the Jagged Edge. That's what put him on the map, was the Jagged Edge, because they was working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go over there with him when he used to first go over there.
With them?
With
Jagged Edge?
B-Cox.
Yeah.
And Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
So they used to be over there working, of course, at noontime.
Yeah. Yes.
And it would be B-Cox beats or whatever. Like they actually wrote a song for me. That's really how I
so
got cool with them.
Yes.
And then they were like, "We going over to JD's," and I was like Jermaine Dupri, JD?
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I want to go." Right? So Donnie was like, "Yeah, let's go. Donnie Scants.
Yeah.
Let's go." And I was like, "Cool, let's go." So we go over to the studio, and that's where I'm seeing B. Cox and JD kind of develop.
That's how they developed their thing.
And I'm watching him. I don't want to say specifically that he coached B. Cox into DJing, but that's where I first saw B. Cox getting behind the turntables.
That's probably
and learning how to DJ.
That's probably.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, "What are you doing?" He said, "Yeah, JD be DJing. You got to learn how to DJ." And I was like, "Oh, okay, shit." And I'm in there just watching this nigga fuck up the DJ equipment, but I'm like, "All right, nigga, that record don't go with that record, but that's fine." Just do it. But that's where he.
Yeah, that's where he
early
got the
proving
chops.
ground.
Yep.
And then Jagged Edge was like, "Yeah, nigga, we hoop." I was like, "Nigga, y'all don't hoop." And I was like, "Yeah, nigga, we do hoop." And I was like, "Well, let's go hoop. And they was like, nigga, JD got a gym. I was like, a gym
Oh
where?
yeah, he had the little basketball.
He's like,
yeah.
Little
They was
basketball.
like,
Yes,
right
yes.
down the hallway. I
Yes.
was like, down the hallway? I
Yes,
said,
he
let's
sure
go
did.
get it.
I couldn't
Yes,
believe
he
that
sure
shit the
did
first
it.
time I was at that studio. I was
Nigga.
like, this nigga has, this is everything
It's
you need.
parquet, nigga.
Yeah, it did. It
Everything
was.
you need.
It
Man, I
was.
dunked on them niggas so crazy.
Yes.
You know when we bring them on the show.
Oh, I can't wait to
they
bring
gonna
them.
have to- I mean, they got to validate if this is real or not, Tank.
I mean, Tank been dunking for a long time.
This is like the 5th grade with the long
That
ass
nigga
arms.
was flying. I didn't think he could. I didn't think he could hoop.
Nobody
either.
ever did.
I didn't think he could.
Nobody
hoop
ever
either.
did.
And
Nobody
I
ever
seen
did.
the nigga. We played one day, and I said, "This nigga's jumping
I'm
out
like-
of the gym, doing all these crazy
Nigga, I had
layups."
to
I
tell
was like,
niggas,
"What?"
I'm like, you know the nigga will dunk off vert.
Bird.
Nah, ain't no way. Singing ass nigga ain't about to.
Singing ass nigga.
yeah.
All right, if you
Yeah.
say so.
So
that all was pivotal
yes.
for me. All of that.
and pivotal for us too, because that's how Latoya came into play. Because she was dating one of the guys,
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
and that's
yeah.
how we met. That's how Toya came to us. Was from that relationship.
It's I got so many questions. I mean, I know you too. You're my friend, but it's still like I got so many questions.
Go
you know
ahead.
what I'm saying?
Go
Because
ahead.
getting into the inner workings of like your business is a different type of conversation,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there comes a point where, for us, outside looking in, noontime is it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Noontime is a real one-stop shop
Yeah.
where you can get
Yes.
your goods
And
from.
that's what we were.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then there comes a point in time where it's not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It dissolves.
Mm-hmm.
And the bosses are kind of going in different
direction.
directions.
And that's exactly what happened.
And what is, if not too much into it, how does that happen?
Because the downfall of black men, bro. It's two things that that kill us. It's our egos, and we don't share resources. So it was the egos. It was the egos. It was the egos, man. Like, and that was our downfall. And had we stuck it out, and like you said, all other people, people admire what we did. Like they like this. Nobody did it like that.
Mm-hmm.
In that fashion. And yeah, it was the egos, man. It was just the egos.
It
was
became
egos.
it became a model.
It was
It
a
was a
model.
thing. It was a
It was
model.
a model.
We
It was a
need. I
model.
mean, listen,
Nobody had producers at one studio, this studio, that studio, that studio. And Puff did with
the Hitman.
The Hitman.
the Hitman.
But
But he
And
grabbed
two
some
of
of
your
yours.
guys.
Two of yours.
To grab two of our guys, but they weren't. I don't know how they're set. I think he had like 1 or 2 rooms maybe in Daddy house.
No, y'all had.
We had 4 or 5 rooms.
Yeah,
So
continuously going.
yes,
Yeah.
continuously going. With the producers had their own room.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We built the rooms specifically for them to have their own rooms.
It's like, because I
That's
watch
crazy.
you all individually. I watch the things that you all have moved into and accomplished individually,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking about all of that being under one roof.
Under one roof. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it's not like the amount of executives that we put out. Like Jaha used to work for us.
Yeah.
Shakir used to work for
Yeah.
us. April used to work for us.
Wow.
Shantae Page used to work for us.
Shit.
You
All
know what
came
I mean?
through Noontime.
All came through Noontime. Yeah, they all came through Noontime.
How long did you guys have the company?
We started 1990, probably 97, because we moved to 97 to about, I would say 2007, 2008.
For about 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, for about 10 years.
And then-
then Noonie and Jazzy started Show Enough, which was Sierra, Sierra, what was the other group they had? Cherish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherish was with the sisters, with the twins.
Yeah.
They were dope.
Yeah.
Wait,
They were
so, because I was going to ask too about Noontime. So you have all these producers.
Polo was a part of
I'm
that.
about to say, yeah, Polo, absolutely.
Yeah, Polo was it. See,
Saw
Polo
Polo
was the
early 'cause
same as him.
Because Polo was
Nobody
in the
really
group.
respect. Yes, he was in a group called Jim Crow.
Jim Crow. He's in Jim Crow.
He
Yeah.
was in Jim Crow.
Yep.
We got a deal with Jimmy Iovine. And DJ.
And that was a noontime
DJ,
deal.
yes.
Okay.
DJ was just coming out of, he was in college
Yeah, he was
in
at
Boston.
College. Yeah,
he was in Boston College. We met up there with Jimmy. DJ brought us to meet with Jimmy to sign Jim Crow, right? And Jimmy was like, yo, hey guys, I love this group. This group is fantastic. We're going to sign them, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to listen to something. Can you please take a listen to something and tell me what you
He
think?
always wants you to listen to something.
Yeah.
Jimmy always wants you to listen.
He said, take a listen to something. Hi, my name is. Hi, my name is. Yeah. He was like, guys, what do you think about this guy? He's like, who is that? He was like, this kid we about to sign, Eminem. Yeah. It's like, oh, I mean, the record was it was a record. You could hear that from the beginning. As soon as you heard that record, you knew what that was. And so he signed the group. Polo was a part of that group, but Polo was like you, like nobody, like he used to produce, but nobody we wouldn't take him seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Polo was a really fucking dope producer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Super dope.
Because that's what I was going to ask as far as like the transition of having all these producers. When did the artists come? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously that is the pivot, right? That's you have the producer, so you got the music, you got the writers.
So a lot of people don't know this, but we signed to Ashanti when she was 16.
Oh shit.
Yes, Ashanti was signed to Noontime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Kendall Minter. You remember Kendall Minter, the attorney?
Nope.
Kendall Minter introduced us to her. We signed her.
Mm-hmm.
Did a bunch of we did a bunch of crazy records on her. And then we got our first deal. We got our first deal with Sony. Ron, what's his name? Dave Sweeney. You know, remember Dave Sweeney?
Yeah.
Dave Sweeney was over there. Ron, what was his name?
Not Ron Gilliard.
No, not Ron Gilliard. Attorney. He was an attorney, but he ran Sony.
Okay.
But anyway, so we signed Ashanti, and we did all of these like huge, big like really dope records. And we went over to Sony, and Dave McPherson was like, I don't know about her. And we was like, really? So when I tell you this other name, you're going to be like, damn, I forgot about that. Remember Cha-Cha?
Of course.
So we had a female rapper.
Yeah, of course I remember
Cha-Cha. You remember Cha-Cha, right?
Yeah.
So they was like, we like her. Y'all need to put all y'all money behind her. Let's put the bag behind her. And that's what they did. We had Trick Daddy, we had Juvenile, we had Ja Rule. Went to go pay Jay-Z $500,000 cash.
Sheesh.
Wait,
to
what?
get on her record.
Wait.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yes, on Cha-Cha's record.
500
Cash.
Did he do it?
No. I don't know what happened. He was going to do it. He wanted to do it. I'm going to tell you, he wanted to do it. But when I tell you, she had absolutely everybody on who was hot at that time on her record.
Okay.
And Sony was like, yo, this is the artist we want to get behind. And we new in the game. This is our first label deal. We just like, fuck it, man. Y'all gonna put the money behind her. So what happened was Ashanti, we still had her signed, and you know how it is. Artists, you feel like you're not paying attention to them.
Yeah.
They be like, yo, yes, man. And
let me out. Let me out the car, yo.
Yes.
Let me out the car, yo.
Yes. So, and I remember this like yesterday. So the straw with Ashanti was she had got into a car accident, right, down in Atlanta, and they were her and her mom were calling the guys down in Atlanta about trying to get her help or helping her out or whatever, trying to, you know what I'm saying. So I guess nobody returned the calls or talk to the mom or whatever. So they call. I was out here in LA. I had already like relocated out here. They called me and they were like, Terry, Ashanti's just got into an accident. She's crying. She's upset. you guys are not, you're not doing right by her. We want to get out of the contract. So talk to the guys. We had a meeting about it. Talked to the guys. We had a meeting and we was just like, yo, we just let her go. And we let her go and Irv picked her up.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is
history.
Yeah. But we had her signed to 16.
Absolute.
Absolute.
Jim Crow. Ashanti.
Yeah. Sierra.
Hold on, no. He got another like hidden gem.
I got a few
that didn't turn out to be an artist.
Who?
Tell us about the groups you signed. That got a certain famous, super famous actor in it.
Oh, so the first group. So the first group I signed. This is a crazy story too. The first group I signed was this group called Quattro.
Okay.
Quattro. They were out of DC.
Okay.
Group called Quattro. I didn't know anything about music, Tank. I just know growing up, I loved music. My grandmother used to play the records and I used to listen to them. I just loved R&B. So I always wanted to be. So, doing the street shit I was doing, I was like, yo, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to be, you can't do wrong forever.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
So you didn't have kingpin dreams?
No.
You were like, I'm doing this to get to something else.
I'm doing this to get to something.
Okay.
Because the old man told me one time, I sat down with him, this old dude, hustling dude, he was like, yo, bro, let me tell you something. You ever heard of law of averages? And I was like, what is that? He was like, law of averages mean at some point, at some time, something's going to catch up to you.
Yeah.
It's called the law of averages.
Do something
You can't
enough.
you do something enough, it's going to catch you.
It's going to catch you.
Yeah.
And he said, you have to have a mentality where you have a hustler's mentality, but you got to channel that in another way. So that's what I was doing. So that's how we started the music. And then, once the new music executive, the new drug dealer was the new music executive.
Mm-hmm.
The new music executive became the new, that was the sexy.
Yeah.
You was sexy if you had the music, you was doing music. So that's what I did. So I had this, I was like, yo, I want to do something, man. Let me so Shantae Page, I never knew, I didn't know anything about studio, never been to a studio, never been anywhere. She's like, I got this group. She's like, Terry, she called me one day and was like, yo, you got all this money. What are you doing with it? And I was like, I don't know, Shantae. She was like, why don't you help me manage this group? Why don't you pay for some of this stuff and help me manage this group? I was like, all right. So we go manage. I started managing the group with her. Started, buying records. So my first time I ever went to a studio, ever. I go into the studio, Shantae, we go. I'm like, damn, this shit is sexy. Like, this is a vibe right now. This is a hell of a vibe.
Yeah.
Studio music. And we go get a beat from this producer. $250 for the beat. Guess who the producer was?
Who?
Chucky Thompson.
Get the fuck out of
This
here.
nigga bought a Chucky Thompson beat.
Chucky Thompson
Get the
for
fuck
$250 fucking dollars.
No way.
I swear to God, $250. $250. So going back to what he says, one of the dudes in the group was Michael Ealy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Am I lying?
Nigga, he's showing me.
Get the fuck out of here.
Michael Ealy. I'll show you the picture.
Michael Ealy, we need you on the pod.
Hold on.
I didn't know you'd be singing.
Can I show him the
Nigga
picture?
light skin with blue eyes. He got
Hey,
shit in R&B.
he got the R&B swag. He got the kit.
Nigga, he said, he
Who was
showed me that
Tank?
picture.
Who was that? Who was that in that picture? That was my first group.
Nigga, that is crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So were you able to get them moving at all?
No,
or no?
I didn't.
Nothing.
We actually, kind of, sorta.
Mm-hmm.
You know who we fucked with? What's the dude that used to manage Teddy Riley?
Gene Griffin?
Yes.
Okay.
We was going to sign him to Gene Griffey was some backdoor deal. I don't even know. I
You,
didn't know. Hey,
you know it was gonna be atrocious.
I didn't have no clue what the fuck the contract looked like.
It was
You know
gonna
what I'm
be
saying?
ugly.
It was gonna be ugly. You know what I'm saying? So Jay Griffey, because he lived in D.C., actually lived up the street. He was actually messing with this chick that lived up the street, the neighborhood I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to see this Range Rover in the neighborhood. I'm like, who is this thing? Who is this dude? And then Shantae told me, she's like, yeah, Gene Griffey, he's being back and forth in D.C. So yeah, we were going to do a situation with him.
He used to be messing with Cliff and Jerry them out there.
Yes,
Absolutely.
And that was your first entry
that was my
into
first
the music business.
interest in music business.
How old are you at this point?
I was probably like, this was it. Probably like 23, 24.
Yeah.
23, 24.
So by this time, you're like, listen, the money's going somewhere.
Yeah, it's going somewhere else, bro. I can't, because I've seen too many people locked up dead. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had that wherewithal to know that you can't keep doing this because it's going to lead to something crazy.
And how long are you in it before you guys leave to Atlanta? Like, you know what I mean?
A minute.
So you had already been trying to figure the music thing out, doing the booking
I had
stuff.
a video store. I opened up a video store, Tank.
Did you have a laundromat too? Did you have a laundromat?
No, I didn't have a laundromat. Had a video store. Had a courier service. And then, it was so crazy. Nigga, I had a video store. I bought a video store.
What do you mean video store?
A video store.
Nigga, Blockbuster,
Like
nigga.
Blockbuster. The corner Blockbuster. Nigga, I had a
nigga.
corner Blockbuster. Like,
TR,
listen.
TRs?
On 9th Street. On
9th and
Street.
what?
9th and, was it S? 9th and S?
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
had
TR, you was getting money.
yeah, listen. So listen. Let me tell you some crazy shit. So I had a video store. So they had a basement in the video store, right? I bought the store, never been down in the basement in the store.
You never knew it had a basement?
Never knew it had a basement. But guess what was in the basement? All X-rated videos.
That's where they kept the
That's where the X-rated shit was down in the basement. And I didn't even know it. So one of the employees that was working there said, yo, do you know there's a downstairs? And do you know what's down there? And I'm like, nah, what is down there? She's like, that's where the X-rated videos are.
That's what butt naked is.
That's where the butt naked is.
That's where I'd spend a lot of my time.
Yo,
him downstairs.
so
Hey, I hate when I look back on myself back in the video store times, and I used to have to.
Like the kid trying to sneak to the basement.
I wasn't sneaking. I just had to get up the nerve because I was like, "There's too many people in here to see me walk into the black door," because that door was that door was always a different color, and niggas knew when you walked back there what you was going to do.
That's what
you was going to get that
You
big
was going to
nasty,
get
and I was
that
like,
big
"Man,
nasty."
fuck these people. I'm going to
you
serve
know what I'm
myself."
saying? So that you know what I'm saying? They had
I would've loved to go
it
to
was
TR's.
crazy,
I
man.
would love to go to TR's.
Hey, that video store down the street. Oh yeah, that's a nice one, man.
So how long did you had a video store?
Probably like 9 months.
You
8
just
or 9
trying to
months.
figure it out.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure it out. G.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. I know, like I said, I know I can't keep doing this. I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How
and-
much money did you blow
Oh,
initially
man, I blew so much.
in the music business? Because people be thinking like, okay, I'm going to just take this money from over wherever
Yeah.
I'm getting it from
my income tax,
and then I'm going to be cracking
Yeah.
in music
Yeah.
in a week.
You know what? It was kind of like the money that we did was we put to good use because we bought a building. We had a building.
But even before that,
But
like the
by
money you
that time you
spent
in
on,
Atlanta, I'm
on
talking about-
Quattro,
Oh, yeah.
on
The-
you know,
It was.
getting to it.
Oh, okay. It wasn't that much.
You
Like
wasn't
I
spending a whole
said,
bunch of
I
money.
wasn't spending a whole bunch of money
Okay.
like that on that. I was spending money on other goofy shit, but not that
Right.
in the beginning. Because I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, but you know, niggas was flying to Vegas and doing all the goofy shit,
Gotcha.
buying the cars and
Yeah.
all that shit that we do.
Yeah.
Gotta go to Vegas.
You know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Taking trips, broads here
Amen.
and there. You know what I mean? Not the ugly
Amen.
ones though.
Don't you do it. Don't do it.
Not the ugly ones. Jay.
Don't do it. We're all beautiful in God's eyes.
We are.
The Lord made somebody for somebody.
Only a certain level.
Stop it. Stop. You stop. Cut it out.
Well, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. The history is first of all, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I got another one though that
come on,
nobody really knows about.
Go.
I signed her when she was 13. Tori Kelly.
You signed her.
Yes. I signed Tori Kelly. She was signed to my production company.
Man, what the
Yes,
And
13.
And what was going on?
So I signed her to Geffen, huge deal. Let me tell you, at this time, they gave us, back then people was getting 13, 14 points. I got a 28-point deal with Tori Kelly.
shit. Oh,
Back then.
Yeah.
Because back then it was
Niggas
13,
wasn't-
14 points.
That wasn't happening.
28 points. 28 points, got a consultant deal out of it. And you know who, and you probably remember her. You know who signed her and was Polly Anthony.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Polly Anthony.
Mhm.
Signed her, was like, Terry, I've never heard.
So is this before JoJo comes out? Or is this
no,
after?
this is
It's
after.
Gotta be after. Yeah.
Right
So
after.
they've seen the success
Yes.
of what JoJo is,
Mhm.
Yes.
cooking in R&B, doing her thing, young girl.
Yes, I don't know what's JoJo. Wait a minute.
Because JoJo came out in like 2005, 4.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, then it might have been. It might have been. Yeah. Well, Tori was only 13.
So you sign her, y'all do a major label deal, the whole thing.
Yes, I did it. Well, they gave me this. Like I said, they gave me a consultant deal. They gave us 28 points. And back then, like I said, 14 points. That's
That
for
was
the
the
artist
standard
and
deal.
the fucking
That
like
was the
the
standard deal.
production
Everybody
company.
got to chop that up.
Yeah, everybody got to chop that up. So I got 28 points, and Polly was like, Terry, we're going to put the money behind this, man. We love her. Guess what happened? You know what happens in the industry. Somebody new comes in.
Oh, the new regime.
Yeah, the new regime comes in.
Yeah.
I used to hate that. That was
That's the worst thing
back
that
in
can
the
happen to
day.
you. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, the new regime
The
comes in.
turnover was a
Oh,
killer.
man, the new regime
No,
comes
it's a new
in.
coach. It's a new coach.
The new regime comes in. Guess who the new regime is? Ron Fair.
Mm.
And he said, hey, guess what? We'll drop her.
Oh, immediately.
They dropped her. He dropped her.
Ron Fair dropped her?
Dropped her.
Yeah, that don't because she
That don't-
seems
that-
in line.
yeah, that lines up with him.
Yeah, he dropped her.
Big voice. The whole, yeah.
He dropped her.
Wow.
He dropped her. So I'm in a dilemma now. Ron Fair dropped her. Now I have the opportunity to go and get her another deal. Because you only got a certain time
Right.
to go get her another deal. So I'm not even searching to get another deal. Actually, somebody called me from MTV and they wanted to do, this has been when MTV, when they were doing this backstories on artists and they were doing these like reality things.
Mhm.
They first started
Mm-hmm.
doing this kind of shows. They were like, yo, we want to do a story on Tori. We want to follow her and her family and her journey. And I'm like, yo, okay.
Yeah.
Now we can get some traction.
Yeah.
So I said, all right. So I called the mom and dad. And by this time, Tori was, she was 15 going on 16. And by this time, I called her mom and I said, hey, I got these people from MTV. They want to fly out and talk to you guys. They want to do a show. They want to do a show on Tori, called the Tori Diaries or something. It was really dope, right? And they flew out. They met the parents. And then after that, I was like, okay, what are we doing? Like, are we going to do this? So the mom said to me, she was like, Terry, we have a dilemma. I'm like, what's the problem? She's like, Tori wants to do American Idol. She'll be 16. She can go on there now. I'm like, what? I'm like, no. I can't. And then I called my attorney and I'm like, yo, he was like, she signed to you. You have the opportunity to go get her another deal. So I contemplated, man. And her mom, she was crying one day on the phone and she was just like, we don't know what to do. She really wants to be on American Idol. And they gave me the story like, ever since she's been an artist, we've been telling her what to do. Not only that she's 16, she wants to do something that she wants to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember this like it was yesterday, man. I was in DC, and she had went to Idol, but once you go past a certain thing, that's when they start.
That paperwork.
Yeah.
So I guess she had got past a certain thing, and the mom called me and was like, Terry, this is the last day that we can move forward being under your contract. And I'm driving in DC. I'm down in Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm driving, and I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, man, this girl is fucking amazing. Like, she's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't let her go. I was like, I contemplated, and I drove, and I said, I saw a FedEx. I pulled over. I told her mom to fax me the papers to the FedEx. And I signed a release at the FedEx in DC.
Wow.
And let her out. I was like, you know what? It'll come back somehow. You know what I mean? This is something she want to follow her dreams. She want to be on American Idol. And I told her, I was like, damn, who wins on? I know that the people that win Idol really, like a lot of them don't really do anything. There's only a couple of them that really made.
Really take it there.
Yeah, really take it there. Say, you sure you want her to be on Idol? Well, this is something she wants to do. So that was it. And I let her out, and that was it.
People don't know how many of those situations that we all come around or come across, where we have to make human decisions.
Yeah.
Of an artist is in front of you or signed to you or whatever this case may be when you're doing business, and there's another opportunity for them that you don't want to stand in front of.
Right.
Yeah.
That you want to give them that opportunity.
Right.
To go, because there are a lot of people in this business that would have said, "Oh, you signed to me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what level."
And I was at that point, but I don't like to function like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to function like that,
And that's
because I know it's
honorable.
gonna come back to me. Like,
Absolutely.
And
it has.
And it has. You know what I mean? And like we had LaToya, like, and this was around the same time LaToya was taking off. You know what I mean? We got LaToya, and I remember this too. When we signed LaToya, we made her album out here. I don't even know. You remember Molly?
Of course I remember Molly. Out there in the valley.
Yes.
For like,
yes. You don't remember Molly.
I can't think of the name of that street.
Molly
but
had a
that's
studio to Hunger.
That was off the tongue. That's my studio, man.
Yeah.
That's my studio, man.
Absolutely.
So Molly was this white girl. She had a studio.
Fire studio.
Yeah. It was upstairs.
Downstairs.
Yeah. Big compound studio, right? So that's what we recorded LaToya's album. We recorded it there. We did Torn. We did it there. We did Torn, and we did it there, and got Toya a deal at Capitol.
So you guys had did Torn before you ever did the deal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we did
They
Torn.
got the deal. Walked in with Torn.
Yeah, we
Because
walked in.
okay,
So with LaToya, we was like, listen, you gotta be so far from
That's
the
what I was
Destiny
gonna ask.
Child thing.
Yeah.
Like your shit gotta be, you gotta be doing some ghetto shit. Like your shit gotta be straight ghetto, like damn near rap beats.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be no confusion. You ain't trying to do this. You ain't trying to do that.
Yeah.
This is what you're gonna do.
yeah.
And that's what we did. We like that's a sample in that Torn,
Right.
right? You know what I mean? So we made sure we did so R&B, so there won't be no confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And came out first week. She had the number one selling. She went number one. It's the number one selling when she sold 300,000 records.
Yeah.
Her first week.
Wow.
Her first week. 300,000.
No, and that's the thing though, because people they had written her off.
Yeah, they had written her off.
Right. We talked to her
completely written her off. Completely written her off, man. But that's why we like, you got to be anti whatever they were. You got to be totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to win, because you're going to have so much hate on you.
Yeah.
If you come out trying to be,
And the
you know,
comparison
in
is
the
going to be a killer,
comparison is
because
going to be,
that's the conversation
Yeah.
versus how good her music is.
yeah, exactly. So we made it. We just anti Destiny's Child,
It worked.
and it worked, and it worked. Now, I'll tell you another story. So I had Toya, I had Tori. This is all around the same time.
Singers, nigga.
So
singing.
I got another one. So I'm sitting up in Capitol's office. Steve-O Prudhomme was the A&R. And you know how in the offices back then, people would send in CDs.
Of course.
And he had a box of CDs in his office, right?
Because you can't get to everything.
You can't get to everything. It was a box of CDs, shit everywhere. So I'm looking in the box one day, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is, yo, this broad is gorgeous. I'm like, if she can sing? I said, wow. So I put the thing in, and the songs were horrendous, bro. Terrible songs. And then one last song, she did a cover, a Minnie Riperton cover. And I was like, oh, this broad can sing, right? Leona Lewis.
No way.
I swear to God.
No way.
I swear to God, Tank. No lie. So Leona Lewis, so I look on the CD, I call the dude on the back. I was like, hey, bro, like, is she signing you? Like, He was like, nah, man. She was like, her dad comes over here. They come over here. They're trying to figure it out. And I'm just helping them out. She's not signing me. She's not signing anyone. I said, well, okay. I wanna bring her over here, right? So the dude says, okay, let me tell her and her dad. And I was like, all right. I'm waiting. 2 days went by. And I'm like, damn, this dude ain't calling me back. So I called him. He was like, hey, bro, I was just about to call you, man. I talked to her dad and her, and they've heard about Noontime and all the stuff all the success that you guys had. She wants to listen. She wants to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay. So I get her and her dad on the phone, and I hear her sing on the phone. I was like, yo, you need to come. I need to bring you over here immediately. Bring her over here. Me, set up in, what's the studio that used to be on Sunset across from the Man's Chinese Theater and all of that? It was a studio over there. Somebody had a studio over there. And me and B. Cox, I brought B. Cox, I flew B. Cox out here, and we started working on her album, working on her project. Did about 4 or 5 songs. Mm-hmm. And then she goes back to, first, let me go back. So when she's here, while she's here, I take her to Polly Anthony, do Jaha. Now, Jaha had a deal over, he was an A&R at Geffen. He was an A&R at Geffen. He's the one who signed Tori. He signed Tori, and I brought him Leona, and he was like, yo, I want to sign her too. Let's take her to Polly. So I take Leona up to Polly. She sings for her, and credible voice. And Polly was just like, I don't think she, after the meeting, she was like, Terry, I like her, but I don't think she's a star. I want to concentrate on Tori, right? She was like, let's just do Tori. So I don't even think it was about her, like, not really liking her, but I think she didn't want to have two singing girls like that, even though Tori was 13 and
right.
Leona was probably about 18 or 19. Mm-hmm. So she probably didn't want to have 2 girls like that. So Leona went back over to Europe, and Toya was taken off, right? Now, I had a year to get Leona a deal, 12 months. I had a year to get her a deal. That was your holding period. That was my holding period in her contract. She had a year. So she goes back over to London. Probably like a month or 2 goes by. I start getting the phone calls from the dad, like, hey, man, what are we doing? Like, are you guys gonna give us a deal? I was like, well, dude, it's only been 2 months. Like, I got 10 more months. Like, so this is Toya's taking off. Like, a record of theirs already came out. So Toya does this show. She gets booked for this show over in Europe called the Mobos. Mm-hmm. You heard of that? Mm. It's like it's a war show. Yeah. Okay. It's like our Soul Train or like a BT, like BT. Yeah.
Okay.
So we get booked over there. So I'm calling Dad. I'm like, yo, man, we on our way over there. I want to sit down with you guys and figure this out. I want to bring Leona back. Let's do this. So he was like, okay, yeah. He was like, that's exciting. I was like, I wanted to invite you guys to the Mobos, right? I get over there. I go meet with the dad. We sit down. We talk. He's like, Leona's excited about going. She wants to go. She's going to go pick out her outfit. Blah, 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 blah. Next day comes. They don't show up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, come to find out, she was doing X Factor over there.
The other American
Idol. The other American Idol.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, Chuck. She's doing X Factor, right? So I get back and I hit the dad. I'm like, yo, man, what was that shit about? Like, what's going on? He was like, oh man, you know, you guys are taking too long. And I said, well, listen, man, you got another 6 months on your contract. I want to bring her back over there, back over here and finish her project. I want to get her a deal. I know I can get her a deal. And he was like, all right. So I start getting these frantic phone calls like, yo, hey, what are we doing? We got to get out of this contract. I'm like, nah. I said, listen, what I will do is whatever she does over there, until it comes back to America, then I have the rights for that when it comes back over to America. And he was like, okay, let's figure that out. Let's work that out. So make a long story short, she was winning on X Factor. So the reason why she didn't go to the award show is because people would start recognizing her. They would recognize her.
Yeah.
Got you.
But you had no idea.
I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know she was on X Factor. Right? So they would recognize her.
Yeah.
So then I get this call late at night one day. They was like, yo, my man called me and was like, my man Damon. You know Damon, my guy.
Oh, yeah. Got you.
He calls me and was like, yo, read this article. And it was like, Clive Davis signs the first X Factor artist to the USA. And I was like, huh? I was like, what? I'm like, no fucking way. I was like, dog, she's still in our contract. He was like, I know. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And I said, man, listen, bro, this is some shit. So guess what? This is so crazy. Now, Jaha is working for Sony. He's working for Clive and Larry.
Okay.
Right? He went from Geffen to Sony. So I immediately called Jaha. Like, Jaha, yo. I said, dog, y'all got this girl over there. He was like, who? I was like, you remember the girl I bought? She was like, who are you talking about? I was like, Leona Lewis. He said, we just had a company meeting and she is fucking priority over here. I said, Jaha, I said, you know she's still signed to me. He was like, oh shit, that's right. She is. I said, Jaha, I'm about to send you this contract and I need you to go tell the people at Sony that this girl is in a production situation. Mm-hmm. And that this is a problem. This is a fucking huge problem, right? So he's like, he goes back to the company. And then Sony was like, well, we ain't got nothing to do with that. That's X Factor. You guys need to talk to the people at X Factor. Or what Simon Cowell, whoever the fuck
Ultimately,
it was.
That's the furnishing company that has done the deal with Sony.
So you need to talk to them. So I'm like, all right. So I go to my attorney and I'm like, yo, and you know who it is. It used to be Barry's attorney. What's his name, man? What's his fucking name?
Jock?
No, not Jock. He worked for Jock.
Okay, I can't remember.
He worked for Jock.
Okay. I can't
Jock
remember.
worked for him. Right. Big attorney. Big, huge attorney. Black attorney.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so I go to him and he's like, bro, we gotta sue him. So you're gonna have to sue him. You have to threaten to sue him. So we sued him and settled. We settled, but yeah. She was signed to me and she won the X Factor over there. And then Tori went to American Idol over here.
So did you ever catch the fade with Simon Cowell or not? Did y'all fight?
No, we didn't fight. We settled out. We got it. We got it straight. We got it straight. We worked it out.
I'll tell you this. You can know how to pick them.
That's one thing I do know how to do. Female artists.
You know how to pick them. You're You're 8 for 8.
Yeah, I'm good at that. I'm good at that's one thing I know. I know female artists.
You're good.
Very well. And we even had whatchamacallit signed to us, man. Nivea.
Yeah,
I
Nivea.
love Nivea.
Nivea was on Noontime, though,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I did know that. I did know that. Actually, I did
We
know
had
that.
Nivea.
I knew that.
We had Nivea.
Don't mess
Nivea's
with my
super
man.
cool. Yeah, I love Nivea. I used to be on the road with Nivea. He's always doing a bunch of dates and shit together down south.
So
Nivea's
Nivea,
dope.
we had Nivea too. Yeah.
As you guys were separating from the Noontime thing, your mentality was, I got to keep the ball rolling.
I got to keep the ball rolling.
Because everybody didn't stay in music.
No.
Everybody started.
Ryan
Yeah, everybody started
going.
going.
Yeah. No
Fashion.
Yeah. Fashion.
Yeah.
Ryan was doing Ryan Kenny.
Mm-hmm. With Kenny, with Burns.
Yeah. Chris went to Def Jam. He was over there with LA.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Noonie and
Noonie was
had
still
Show Enough.
Yeah, they had
Show
Show Enough. They were still working Show Enough. And then I just came out here and started managing, Jason.
Yeah.
The guru of mixing.
How does that happen? Because at one point
That happened because
y'all were
the same.
y'all were partners.
Yes, but Jason used to work at DreamWorks. He was an A&R.
I know this.
Right.
So
that's how we got close.
exactly. That's how all of us got close.
Yes,
Well,
that's how
we was already cool.
Yes.
But then that's how I got close with Jason.
Yes.
Because of the DreamWorks.
Yes, because of DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason was at DreamWorks. He was A&R.
Right.
I was consulting over at DreamWorks. So that's how me and him met. And the crazy thing about that is when I first came out here, I didn't even know what mixing was. Like he was like, we had a record and he was like, bro, we got to go mix this record. And I'm like, mix? What the fuck is that? He was like, that's where they separate all the sounds. And I was like, okay. And that was the first time I even knew what mixing was. And he was a producer, actually. Jason was a producer. He used to produce.
Back in DreamWorks?
Yes, Jason was producing.
Jason didn't really know song structure though.
Yeah, yes, he did, bro. He knew.
He did not.
He knew a lot about that. He taught me about it. I didn't know about it.
I taught him some shit.
Okay, well, you taught him some. You might have taught him some shit, but yes, okay.
Because he definitely wasn't no mix engineer.
No,
at that time.
No,
not even close.
Not even close. No, he wasn't. Nope.
So y'all,
he was a marketing
y'all
genius.
Were partners in what initially?
Well,
okay, so maybe I have it wrong. Because Adagio was your group.
It was my group.
That you took to Jason and he facilitated the deal at DreamWorks. Okay.
He facilitated.
I always thought y'all were partners.
So him and Gerald Busby, that's like his godfather. Yes, his godfather.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how that all played out, the DreamWorks portion.
And then you end up getting a consultancy.
Yes,
on
at
top
DreamWorks.
Of the deal that you guys had.
At DreamWorks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you guys start working together.
Yes.
Making this project.
We started working together, and then one day Jason went off to, he was doing marketing for some marketing company. And then I get a call one day and he's like, yo, I'm over here at Larrabee and I'm mixing now. I'm like, mixing? What the fuck what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He was like, yo, I'm over here, I'm a runner.
He was a runner in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an assistant. Like he was full.
He was a run. No, he wasn't even an assistant. He was a runner first. Yes. Like, you know how niggas go get your food and yes. Yeah.
And that's what
then he became an assistant for Dave Pensado.
Yeah.
He became an assistant for Dave Pensado. And he called me and was like, bro, I'm gonna need you. I was like, what? He was like, I'm mixing now. And me and Damon started managing Dave and Jason. So they used to.
Oh, you managed Pensado?
Yeah.
Pensado? Oh, too. I didn't know that.
I managed Dave and Jason.
Got you.
Okay.
And that's where the Pensado group came from. That was Jason and Dave's mixing entity. So Jason, and I remember this crazy too, how he got his first record that he mixed on his own. I got a call from, this is when he was working real heavy with Tricky and Dream and all of them. And they called and they was like, we want this record to be mixed, but we want Jason to mix it. And we was like, what record is that? And they was like, this record called Single Ladies. So
the introduction is just
Oh my god.
So listen.
the super mixer.
So we get a call and he's in a dilemma like, man, what am I gonna do? They want me to mix this without Dave. How am I gonna, you know what I mean? So that was the first record he mixed on his own, was Single Ladies.
Get the fuck out of here.
Single Ladies.
That's the way to kick it off.
That's the way to kick it
How
off.
you get the fuck off.
Shit.
Yeah. Thanks to Tricky, you know what I mean? Tricky and Dream, you know what I mean? Tricky and Dream bought him that record. They wanted him to do it on his own. And they gave him a chance. He did it and killed it.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Oh my god.
And this had been the first time you had ever managed a mixer.
Yeah. This is the first time I ever managed a mixer.
Before him and Dave, like at that point, you were purely
just artists,
producers,
producers,
writers.
writers. Yeah.
Because what's the difference in managing? I know the difference between managing an artist and managing even a producer or someone from the behind the scenes, but there has to be differences in managing a producer writer than managing a mixer.
Yeah, it's a big difference. It's a huge difference.
Can you kind of give us some insight on
like how you sell that, or
that.
like is it traditional selling? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you go into the office and like, you want a mix? Oh no, I got the mix for you. You got listen to this. Like,
nah, that was that.
Or did it sell itself?
Yes, it was organic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it was an organic type of situation that manifested with that. Like that's something. I mean, you can go do that and say, "Hey, I managed this mixing engineer. Here's what he's done." But a lot of that was just it's
Word
from
of
producers.
you kind of walked. You kind of walked into something that had some legs to it.
Yeah.
And
no, because Dave was already
Dave was
popping.
Dave.
Dave was popping.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dave was already. He was already. People went to him. They loved his vocals.
Of course.
They loved how he made their vocals sound, and that's what made Jason so dope. Is because he knew how to make your beats keep knocking, but your vocals
sound
keep
great.
them.
stand out.
And a lot of mix engineers don't know how to do both.
That, yeah.
It's hard.
And now you have the new kid whose first solo mix is this big fucking record. So it's like the calling card
yes.
You don't.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to sell.
Yeah. There's nothing else to sell. So he pretty much that's like pretty much like self-contained. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you guys have been working together how many years now?
Shit.
When was that? Because that's when I first met him. When was that? That was 2000. 1990.
99, 2000.
Sounds like
yeah.
Cash Money, nigga.
Yeah.
2000.
Yes.
99, 2000.
Yes.
Wow.
That's when I first met Jason. I mean, I had known him probably for like a year when he came around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about when he came around.
Sure.
Let's talk about when he came around, man.
Yeah.
How you save this nigga life, man?
I did.
Damn right.
I did.
Saved him.
I did, man.
Saved
I won't say
him.
save Jay. I'll just say
you
I
gotta eat, man.
I'll just say I believed.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I believed.
But
Okay,
there's
Khaled.
I heard a
Okay,
few things.
Khaled.
I heard a few things, and I was like, "This kid is nice.
There's a difference.
He's nice."
There's a difference between believing and
Putting your money
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah,
There is a
absolutely.
grave
a lot
difference.
Of niggas that have seen a nigga and be like, you tell
Nigga, I think
what you gonna do though, nigga? You gonna help me with my talent? Shit.
Get back to me. No, this nigga was like this. Nah, nigga. Come to the studio. I need songs. Nigga,
Yeah.
I had my equipment on deck.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga, way before a computer,
He
nigga.
did. You came in with your
Nigga, my
keyboard.
MPC
That's right.
keyboard. Nigga, let's work.
Yes, he did.
And I wrote the song.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Nigga,
did.
Hey, he
Everything.
A real
Yes,
life
he
church
did.
musician. He had all
He had
everything.
Yo, nigga, he came to the studio with his keyboard
I got
and
it
his
in the car.
MPC and
In
was
the
like, nigga,
car.
I'm gonna create a song.
I'm ready to work.
Right.
And so this
Came
nigga
in there, laid it down.
gave them niggas they parts. Sing this shit, nigga. Let's go.
He sure did.
And that nigga was like, nigga,
Because how old are
got
you at
you.
this point? Like 21? 22 maybe?
22 or 23.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this nigga's like, nigga. Yeah, you got it. We're gonna do
And
it.
I said,
He said, I
yo.
gotta introduce you to Gerald.
Yeah,
Him and Jason, we gotta introduce you to Gerald.
yeah.
nigga. And I went and set.
You sure did.
And Drano has my background singers.
Yes.
Who I'm working on their shit too at the same time. I'm working on his.
Because you have a record deal at this.
I have a record deal. That's why I'm out there in LA.
Quiet, but it's quiet.
It's quiet. It was a little quiet for me. And my hotel is about to run out. La Montrose.
Are you gonna run out one or the other?
One or the other.
One or the other.
And my hotel was getting ready to run the fuck out.
Telling me that, man.
I was like, man, I'm about to not have nowhere to stay. All I have is a car.
True, too.
No, he was.
Because niggas be lying.
No.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I was like, nigga, this shit is almost over. Nigga, what's happening? And nigga Gerald Busby said, I like your tunes.
Yeah, I like your tunes.
These are good tunes, good records, man. I like what you're doing, and I'm gonna give you $17,500. You know, I was like, I'm about to get $17,500. I was like, okay, cool. I said, thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Like you grabbing, you know, $17,500. Okay, so that's the total. He said, no, it's $17,500 for two.
For a record.
So you want two records for $17,500? That's fine. I'll take it. No, I want two records for $35,000. I said, ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
And one is for your group, Diageo.
Yes.
Yes. That was the first one that said
That was the first one.
I was the one who ushered him in.
Was supposed to go to
Don't get that twisted, Jay.
No.
I was the one who ushered him in.
Second one was
as
going,
a producer.
Second one was going to Moet.
I respect.
Yes, the second
one
was
going to Moet. Oh,
yeah,
Moet.
That was going to
yes.
Texas.
After
the
Adagio.
Yeah, after, just you were first, brother.
Okay.
You were
I
first.
just want everybody to know
You
that.
got it.
I don't want niggas to be getting confused because I heard somebody else say that they was the first one to give you producer. But I heard that.
No.
Somebody said that.
Brian Alexander was the first one to believe. I have to give him that.
Bernard.
Okay.
Bernard Alexander was the first one to believe. I have to give him that.
Right.
Because he heard Maybe I Deserve before anybody. And he was sending me $20K. He was sending it. The check was a day late.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay.
And Barry Hankerson called and said, if you sell that song, I'm going to kill you. I said, but you told me to sell it.
Oh, now everybody wants it.
Nah.
Now what? We can't let that go.
Back then they didn't want me.
They didn't
now
want
I'm hot.
now they own me.
They all own me.
What was that number that the TV said? 281?
Yeah.
Nigga,
yeah, take that.
$20K. He was
about. See, that's that one. That's the I'm about to do.
You got.
No, it wasn't his fault. He ran up against a monster.
You got it. No, but if he would have paid for it,
if he'd have paid for it on time,
if he'd have
no, it was a day late.
Okay,
it was a day late
and $1 short.
And Barry Hankerson wasn't nobody to play with at that time. He just wasn't. Yeah. You don't really play with him at that time.
Not the first nigga that got
Not the first nigga cut right here.
Saved you.
Huh? The cutter.
Saved you.
The cutter.
The Montrose about to kick your ass
out. Hey, the Montrose, listen, the Montrose always sent you away with a chocolate chip cookie.
They sure did.
And a strawberry.
So they'd already given you your cookie.
They gave my notice. Put that chocolate chip on your pillow.
Sir, you got
your bill is
24 hours to get out of here. You got to get the fuck out of here.
Nigga, I had nowhere to stay.
That's all right.
And
That's
listen,
all right, Tank. I believe in
when
you.
Y'all cut them checks,
man. I knew you was going to be big.
You know what happened?
What?
I went and bought some rims.
It's understood.
Listen, he had 12 cars when he moved.
So I understood. I definitely understood.
You know, he also had a video store.
I ain't had no video store. I had the videos.
I had the videos.
I had videos, baby.
You.
Hey, listen, here's what's so crazy about you having a video store. I used to go get so many videos from the video store that niggas would borrow videos from me.
The funny thing is he might still have some videos that were from TR's video store. Didn't even know you owned it.
Yeah.
VHS.
You might have had them joints.
Killing them. Then they started doing DVDs.
Did y'all have insurance on those? Like, because niggas used to just keep the videos, man. Like, how did y'all?
No.
Do you remember?
Niggas used to have to call and harass the people.
You got my videos, right?
Yo, when are you bringing the video back? Like, dude.
I just want to hear your voice saying that.
Be kind and rewind, please.
Hey, my nigga. My nigga.
I'm going to need that video.
Bro.
You got Sally Goes Black.
You're 5 days late.
Nigga. You got Sally Goes Black.
You got Debbie Does Dallas.
And Debbie Does Dallas. You had them for 2 months now. What are we doing? Come on, my nigga.
Oh man,
You got to be
yes,
done
man.
with those.
Niggas, yeah, you had to call. Remember, Blockbuster used to call you.
What? Blockbuster would be on the nigga.
They be on calling you like a motherfucker, man.
But think about that though. Like it had to be a real honor system for you to just bring something back.
No, because you wanted something else.
Yeah.
But think about right now, nigga.
Oh nah.
Nigga,
No,
good
sir.
luck.
Good luck. Good luck with that one.
Country
Good luck with that
with
one.
your videos.
Nigga, fuck you and your video. Come get me.
Come get me, nigga.
Find me at that bogus address I just put on.
All right, on a more serious note, how does all this lead to you then becoming a board member and being on the board of Carnegie Hall?
That's a problem.
Like, how does that happen, bro?
So Jay, that kind of came about because my whole life I value relationships. Like that to me is more important than anything.
We've
like,
never not been friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have.
I've known you 20 plus years.
I can't even. I don't know. I don't have any enemies. Like
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that you would mention my name and niggas be like, oh, that nigga's a fuck nigga. Or,
Yeah.
I don't fuck with him. Like I'm just cool because I know how valuable relationships are.
Yeah.
That's the most important, more than money to me, man. Because you can get money and lose money. I've had money, lost money. But this kind of relationships are the ones that, keep you going.
Yeah.
So I just developed a lot of relationships. So one day I'm doing, I'm in the political shit. This girl calls me and like, yo, you know all of these celebrities, you know these people. Biden is trying to, figure out what he wants to do for his first 100 days in office. And we need you to, get these celebrities and get these influencers to come on board for this. And I'm like, sure. I'm like, you know what I mean? So we used to do these Zoom calls and it would be all these political people. And it'd be like 60 people on these calls. And this is a girl from DC. Her name is Lelania. Her mom was the widow of Marion Barry.
Okay.
So she's connected heavily in the political game.
Yeah.
So we used to do these Zoom calls. And I used to be on there and we would have calls about all of this stuff. And then I would always speak up and be like, listen, y'all keep going after all of these celebrities, these older celebrities. You trying to get these kids, you got to get somebody that they're going to relate to. Like they're not going to relate to these old people, these older athletes or these older entertainers. So let's focus on getting like somebody who's in the political space that's young that they're going to listen to, because they're not going to listen to these other people. So one of the dudes that was on the call called me offline one day and was like, hey man, he was like, bro, like you be on these calls and I love the way you handle yourself and you know a lot of people. What do you think about Carnegie Hall? And I was like, Carnegie Hall? Like, nigga, that's the fucking, like, that's the creme de la creme of venues. Like, he was like, yeah, Robert Smith is the chairman of the board and they really want to bring culture over to Carnegie. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in. And he was like, all right, I really fuck with you. I rock with you. I think you would be perfect for this. So I was like, okay. Let me, what do I need to do? He's like, okay, I want to introduce you to the people at Carnegie. Meet me up in New York. I'm going to have you go meet the people at Carnegie. So I went, it's a Carnegie Hall. They don't do the business we do, especially not the music business, right? Yeah. Everything is chopped. Like when they say they're going to do stuff, it gets done. They book stuff. They book like 3 and 4 years out, right? That's not shit we used to.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in. So I went up there and I met with them and they were like, yo, we want to bring you on. I was like, okay. And then I'm in the hallway, right, of Carnegie. And there's these pictures, old pictures of people in the old shows, like black and white pictures. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the pictures thinking, and I'm like, I said, God damn, everybody's dressed up. Like, we don't get dressed up no more.
Yeah.
Like, people don't go to concerts. They don't get dressed up no more. Mm-hmm. So I said, yo, I told my man, I was like, man, listen, if we do anything over here, bro, it has to be black tie. and it has to be an orchestra company, the artist. Like, that's what we got to do. I said, I want to make this where it's totally an experience. This ain't going to the Barclays or going to Apollo.
No.
And you got to get dressed up. And if you can't get dressed up, this ain't the venue. This ain't the venue for you.
Yeah.
Maybe you go to another one, go see this artist at another venue, but not here. Like, I ain't having no hoodies and none of that shit. So the people at Carnegie was like, okay, let's rock out, and let's do it. So it's a funny story, it's so crazy. So we're in the studio. Jason's mixing a record of D Nice. He's mixing a D Nice record.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the studio and I keep looking at D Nice. I'm like, Club Quarantine.
Is that when he had the D Nice and Neo record?
No, it was a record it was an older record that he came back and redid.
Okay.
And I'm looking at him, and Jaha and D Nice they were rocking together. And I'm looking at D Nice and I'm like, Club Quarantine, Carnegie Hall. I kept thinking this in my fucking head. And so I said, D Nice, I went over to him, I said, yo, what do you think about Carnegie Hall? Would you want to perform at Carnegie Hall? And he looked at me, he said, what? He was like, nigga, that's on my bucket list. I said, really? I said, all right. I said, what do you think if I could make it happen? Like, if I could make it happen? He was like, he said, how you gonna get me at how the fuck you gonna get me at Carnegie Hall? I'm like, man, let me figure it out. So I sent the people. I said, listen, we should do Club Quarantine at Carnegie Hall. Mm-hmm. And they were like, who is D Nice? And I was like, so of course they went and Googled him.
Right.
I said he was a guy during COVID. He had everybody from Obama to Oprah to Biden to everybody on his fucking
live.
On his live. Playing music during COVID because nobody couldn't go out.
Yeah.
And I said he went from 10,000 followers to 3 million followers.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were like, oh, this might be nice. Well, let's do it. So I hit Jaha back and I told him, I said, tell D Nice we can do this show at Carnegie. And he was like, no way. I was like, yeah. So we did the show. The first show we ever did was Club Quarantine at Carnegie Hall. When I tell you, man, people dressed up. It was Tank.
I know it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Tank.
I know it's beautiful.
Tank, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at people walking in with gowns and niggas with tuxedos on.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
look at our
nigga,
people.
you did this.
Look.
Nigga, you did this. Hold on. This is Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
So I said, so the show was on and, people was up in the rafters. Niggas was singing and dancing because, D Nice play all the dope music. Yeah. He had Queen Latifah come out. Mm-hmm. He had Slick Rick come out. He had all these people come out performing. And everybody's dressed up and having a good time. So there's the guy over there who is the chairman of Carnegie, who runs Carnegie. He was like, we were in the booth together. They got them little booths. And he looked at me and he was like, Terry, he was like, I've been over here for 20 years, man. And I've never seen a hall rocking like this. It's never felt like this. This energy is crazy. And I was like, thank you. And he was like, and I was like, even better. I said, look around in here. And we started looking around in the audience, right? And I said, 99% of the people who are in here now have never been to fucking Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
And I said, we did this.
Yeah.
I said, we did this. And I've changed the culture at Carnegie Hall. Completely changed the culture at Carnegie Hall. Like now, before, I used to say stuff. So they starting to pivot for me. Because, we don't function like that. So I might call and say, I need to book a show for fucking May of this year. Terry, we can't do that. The show's already booked. So they'll start to go find dates and stuff and find people who ain't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, so then, that. So it's just a wonderful experience, man. And the people that I have lined up coming over there is insane. Like Justin Timberlake, Usher. I mean, these people that I've already talked to them, they want to be. I talked to you about y'all coming over here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big band at Carnegie Hall.
Okay.
Big band and orchestra at Carnegie Hall.
Done.
Frank Sinatra, what's the other album? Marvin Gaye's Big Band album. I want to grab pieces, big band pieces.
Okay, well, let's do it.
And go crazy.
That's great. That's amazing. That's amazing.
With my tux on and a shirt.
And a shirt. And you can take it off whatever.
Nope.
You can take it off if you want to.
Nope.
You want to conduct the orchestra too?
Nope. I
Okay.
want to sing.
You want to sing. Okay. All right.
And we want Michael Buffer
to announce.
We can have that. We can have that. I'll
his brother. His brother, what did he do to UFC? Give me the Buffers, man.
You get the Buffers.
I need it.
So Jay, is are we confirming this?
Absolutely.
I need.
If he confirms, we confirm.
I need Glasper or Tim Carmen on piano. Like, I need things.
Okay, let's do it.
Feels like it can happen. You know, I love NY in the summertime.
It's the best time.
I feel like we can do it this summer.
Do we get a summertime?
Can you find me a summer date?
Let me find out right now.
R&B Money constituents, we will be at Carnegie Hall, suited and booted, tuxed and bucked.
Oh man!
This summer, doing the standards. Big voice, big band.
Damn,
all
Tank.
Curated.
One sound.
Let
me ask you a question.
Curated by Terry.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Will this be your first time performing at Carnegie Hall?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Damn. Yes. So I'm another first.
Pause. Yes.
I'm another.
Yep.
Damn.
Come on, man. Keep collecting, baby.
I gotta keep collecting.
Keep collecting, baby.
You know.
Come on, man.
I gotta be. You know what I'm saying?
Summertime.
I need it. When I leave here, I'm going to call and see if we got any dates in the summertime.
Perfect.
We're going to make it happen. I can't wait for the show.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Date.
And Take is putting it out there that he wants the summer.
Date.
Okay.
He wants the summer. He wants the summer.
Tell me a date so we can get to cooking. Oh, man. I'm talking charts.
Niggas start looking for
nigga. Charts. I'm talking in here, nigga.
That's what you gonna do? You go through your own strings? Oh shit, the upright? Yeah.
Oh, I want to say another story that a lot of people don't know too. I used to manage Slim Thug and got him his deal at
the Interscope deal?
Yeah. Yeah. I got him his deal.
Oh yeah, y'all robbed the bank too, and y'all came through with that one. Y'all no mask on.
From Toya. You know him and Toya. Yeah. So I got him his deal at Interscope. Through Jaha again.
Wow. And then that ended up going to Pharrell at first, right?
That's a whole nother story.
I won't tell that one.
I mean, it was I'll tell that story. Slim called me one night, late night, like, yo, because you know, at Interscope or Jimmy always puts a producer with the artist.
Of course.
So Slim calls me and was like, man, yo, G, man, they want to put me in they want Pharrell to do my whole album.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, Slim. I'm like, yo, I said, man, that's gritty sound you got is like, that's a real, that's
a real thing.
That's
it's
real
different.
thing. Nobody's heard that. Yeah. Nobody's doing that. I said, you know, Pharrell is incredible. I'm like, I know Pharrell is, and
he's Pharrell.
Fuck, he's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Pharrell was on fire. I said, but his sound is a little too clean for you. I said, what we should do is get 2 or 3 songs for the females. Like have Pharrell do the songs for the brides.
Mm-hmm.
You keep that same old tipping on fofos.
Yeah.
And because he was like, man, I've been listening to these songs for all these years. I was like, Slim, when I first heard it, it was something different.
It was new to you. It's new to us, nigga.
It's new to us.
Yeah.
Everybody else gonna feel the same way I felt. Like, let's keep that same energy, and then you do.
That is the separation for him.
Yes. Then you do the Pharrell joints. He was like, man, they want me to do this. I was like, man, I love Pharrell. Pharrell's incredible, but that sound, your sound is your sound. And nobody's doing that right now. You know what I mean? That's coming straight out of Texas. Nobody's doing that. Nobody on the East is hearing that. And he went, and did the thing with Pharrell. He did most of the album.
And then it worked out for him because eventually he just really got all of his shit back. He got all that money. Yeah. Did that deal.
Yeah.
The deal didn't pan out the way that they thought. But he got all his ownership.
Yeah, he got all his
and
ownership.
Really his independence.
Yeah, he got his independence, which he had. And I begged him. I begged, and I heard him. And the reason why I heard him, because when Toya brought him up to me and she, they was going out or whatever, she was like, "You never heard of Slim Thug?" I was like, "Nah, I never heard of him. Nah, I never heard of him." So one day we was in the studio and I was asleep. You know how you be half asleep in the studio, but you can still hear the music? Mm-hmm. And I'm in there, I'm late, I'm asleep. And then he was rapping on one of these songs. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I said, "Toya, that's him?" She was like, "Yeah, that's Slim." I was like, "Oh, that nigga's incredible." I said, "Bro, you don't want a deal?" He was like, "Nah, G, I don't want no deal, man. I'm staying independent. I don't want no deal." I was like,
and this is way before independent was even a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
now he understood it early.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I was like, he was like, "Nah, I don't want no deal." So one day he called me. He was like, "G, I'm ready." He's like, "Go get my deal." I said, "All right." Went right over to Jaha, ran over to Geffen, got him his deal, big deal for him and his Boss Hog, because he had a crew called the Boss Hogs.
Yeah.
Got him in his deal a crew. His crew a deal. Sure did.
That's crazy.
I did not know that.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit I've been doing.
Listen.
You know I used to manage Dave Hollister too.
With Bernard?
Yeah. Well, Bernard, he was signed to them.
He was signed
I managed him.
Got you.
Yeah. That's how I got to I did the album
Dreamer?
with Jason. Yeah.
Okay. Those
Jason
are dangerous
did the album.
times.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to manage Dave Hollister.
Had me mixed up in.
Dave, I was in his first video, actually. I was in his first video.
You was in the video too?
His first one, yeah.
I was like, so what's going on? I'm gonna just do the music.
He was signed to Eric's label.
Listen, I mean, you
I've
again,
been around the block. Man.
Your relationships like speak to who you are.
Yeah.
The fact that you've been able to get so much done, you know what I mean, speaks to how the people in those positions view you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They know you're worth the investment.
Exactly.
Worth the time, worth the opportunity.
Appreciate it. My brother.
And that continues to ring. Still, what? You started doing music in 97?
96, 97, yeah. Yeah.
It's a long motherfucking time.
Yeah.
I think you've
and
also...
then I did the Freaknik documentary. I don't know if you guys know that.
Now listen, I watched the documentary,
Did you watch that?
man.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Oh,
That's disrespectful, bro.
You gotta watch it.
I didn't even know you did it. You do so many things.
You didn't know I did that?
I didn't know you
did
the Freaknik documentary. Absolutely not. And it's not like you called me and tell me that you're doing shit.
I mean, it makes sense for you to do the documentary if that's the shit that
if that was a catalyst.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
You had to do
it went full circle.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I went to Atlanta for Freaknik,
Mm-hmm.
and my first film was a Freaknik documentary.
Right.
So it was full circle.
Now I gotta watch it.
And that's what I was gonna say. I feel like when I look at, your career and how long I've known you, I feel like you've just mastered the art of the pivot. You've always figured out the next move for yourself. You don't get too caught up in, because that's the other thing in this business. It's like, and we talk about this, it's the nigga who got this, he's been trying to sell the same song for 10 years.
Yeah.
And that connects to everybody in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not the actual song, but yes, whatever you're
that
doing that you've been trying to do, the
Yeah.
same song and dance, that at some point it's like, yo, maybe you should try something different. Maybe your talents fit somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I think, watching your career is, even for me, it's definitely been an inspiration for me.
Appreciate it.
And seeing someone like yourself and being like, and obviously understanding what you come from, understanding what I come from, he comes from.
Yeah.
Like saying, and because we were all supposed to be something. Whatever people thought that was.
Yeah.
but we've all evolved
into other
You have to.
other things.
You have
You know what I
to,
mean?
though.
Nobody ever thought that we would be sitting here behind a motherfucking microphone
Never.
talking.
Never thought.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we do this shit all the time
Yeah.
at the studio. We'll sit at the table. Fucking Jason Josh was fuck dog bit me.
But you know, but
still
y'all, but what I say about all of us is we know how to pivot.
Yes.
Well, you know what's crazy too is that we weren't necessarily taught the pivot,
no, not at all.
right? Because we come from a time where you do a thing and that's the thing you do, and you do it until you can't do it no more.
You can't do it no more.
We've been blessed to see opportunities outside of our main thing,
Right.
and understand how it could benefit. You understand?
Everybody.
It benefit everything and
Yes.
everybody that we're like, you know what? That could add to,
Yeah.
or that could be dope if, and we don't come from that, which is crazy because like if you were to get a branding deal back in the 90s or early 2000s or like, that was just like, what? Oh, you got a what? How'd you get, like seeing Tyrese model
Right.
was like, how do you do that?
How you do that?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I remember talking to Tyrese when he was first got his VJ job. And I was like, nigga, wait, you're doing what?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like nobody was thinking.
Yeah, so I'm gonna introduce to this, and then I'm gonna go talk to the people. So I'm like, huh?
People in the record business were like frowning upon
maybe
that.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
right.
you got to focus on your music. You got to your artistry. Like, but all of that lended to him being
movies,
a superstar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that then. It's something that grew on us, and that as those opportunities came, we were smart enough to say, no, give me that. I
I would say all three of us, we just not gonna let people put us in a box.
No.
Like I'm never gonna be put in the fucking box. Like you can't put me in a box.
No, you can't.
You can't.
I fight my
I'm
way
gonna
out.
fight the
I
fucking
can't-
way
boy,
out.
I
I'm gonna gnaw my way out, nigga.
You got to hear
Jay.
Jay say, Tank, that's too far. That's, fuck him. I'm going to do it.
I mean, listen.
Because we all need that too, though.
But
we all need that
you know
too.
why? Because we want the reward, and
Right.
you can't get that reward unless you take chances.
Yeah.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
But you gotta have the nigga in the car with you that says, we got too much dope. We're never getting
Is it
out.
ever too much dope, though?
It is, nigga.
Tank, is it ever too much dope? Tank?
Yes.
I cannot
can get
confirm
rid
or
of-
deny
We could
how
sell
many
that.
keys are too many keys.
I don't think any. Too many keys.
I think once you get over a certain amount, the charge is still the same.
Yes.
Drive slower because
Yes.
the car. No, life is life, nigga.
Yeah.
Life is life.
Yeah, nigga.
Listen, where
you
I'm from,
got
we-
10
I know
keys or you
niggas
got
with
100
double.
keys. You're gonna get the same amount of time.
Yeah. Nah.
Your intent is to distribute.
So
Exactly.
let's just take 9. Because once we get to 10,
Hey, like when you go to the bank and like, how much until y'all report this? If
9,000.
you just deposit 9, yeah, I
You
get
can't
you.
report.
I
Okay,
get you.
Jay. But you do need that.
But yeah, no,
sometimes you do need that.
no,
I agree.
we all need that, right?
I agree.
We all need
'Cause I've
we all
done
need
some
that
wild
voice
shit.
that we trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that for us, that's been so big for us because we both trust each other's voices
But it's
so
respect
much.
that y'all have. For
It
each
starts
other.
there. It starts
It's
with
the
respect. It starts with respect.
And y'all are great together, man.
Yeah.
I
Y'all are
like
great
this guy,
together.
man. I really
Y'all
do.
are great
I like this guy,
together,
man.
Y'all are great together, man. I like that, man.
I like
He
that.
always been the guy. When I first met him, Tank, man, Shakir introduced me to him, man.
Our brother.
And I was like, that young nigga's nice, man. He got some swag to him. You know what I mean? And then when I found out he could really play basketball, that's when the real respect came out.
That's
'Cause a lot of
normally where
these
it starts.
industry- A lot of
That's
these
where it
industry
starts
niggas,
with all of us.
A lot of them say they can play, but they really
don't
can't.
really
They can't play. They
don't really
can't.
Or understand. That's a whole nother part of basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Especially as we've gotten older, you start to have a different love and respect for guys who understand basketball.
Yeah.
It's like, my nigga, if you don't know certain basic things.
Basic things. You know the basic. He
You know what I'm
does.
saying?
He's,
Like,
he's
it's just-
fundamental.
Yeah,
he's
it's like,
fundamentally sound.
make the read.
Make the
young
read,
nigga.
He's
I'm
fundamentally
diving,
sound.
son. Throw that.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, it is only a few of us that understand it in this business.
this business.
We play basketball with everyone.
Yeah.
Niggas like, can this nigga? Yes, he's athletic. Yes, he can move. Get to the spot. I don't know if he can play basketball.
Right.
There's a
Right, the right way.
And if he understands the guy that's on his team can shoot the shit out the ball,
Man.
this guy needs to have the ball in his hand.
Tell me about it.
And he needs to have it at this spot.
Yeah.
This is just a different understanding.
A totally different understanding.
It makes the game more fun and it's more fluid. It's, we played a lot of basketball together.
A lot of basketball.
And a lot of random ass
Really?
gyms.
Y'all remember the league, man?
Do I?
Santa Monica?
I got what? Two, 3 championships in that league?
Here you go with his championships.
I got rings in that league, man.
Here you go,
you know?
I used to love that league, man.
Love.
What was it called?
E-League.
E-League.
NBA E-League.
Yeah. You was doing your thing over there, Tank.
Doing my thing.
I was doing my thing. Bob brought him out of retirement.
I'm back.
Oh, he did? You back?
I'm back.
Tanked and went and played in an adult league, man.
I'm back.
Where?
I don't even do that.
At the district.
Oh, they got an adult league?
Listen, I don't even do that. I'll play in the runs, the private runs, but I'm not going to play in no adult
Why,
league.
Jay?
I'm back.
You'll be real good.
It's the refs.
It'll be fun.
I wanted to be with the refs.
No.
Yeah. He always liked the refs.
I don't want to be with people are refing themselves.
He
I don't
don't
like
like
people
that.
repping themselves.
He hated that, man.
Because I'm not going to call it, but I'm like, come on.
And you don't
come
call
on, come on, bro.
fouls.
Yeah.
You know what you just did. Come on. You got to call it. All right.
He don't call fucking fouls. Anyway.
Come on now, give me your theme music.
Woo! Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. Amen.
Brother Terry Ross, you've,
Oh,
you know this music thing like the back of your hand. You facilitated and communicated and
amen, man.
you are appreciated. That
Amen.
you understand this. So now the people want to know
What they want to know?
Let's give it to him.
the songs and the music that has influenced the man who has influenced others.
How many of them they want to know, man? How many they want to know, man?
They want to know your top five.
Top five?
Your top five.
Come on.
Woo!
Top five. Your top five.
You want me to say him now?
R&B singers, let me sing my songs. R&B songs. We've got to know before you go. Here on this show, let the people here know in your top five. Yes. Oh, no. Top five. Your top five.
Boy, know what he doing.
Oh, you're an animal. Beast mode.
TR.
Prince.
I'm not that me
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
your top five R&B artists.
Prince,
Mhm.
Sade,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Wonder,
Mm-hmm.
and Usher.
Cold fire.
Cold fire.
Cold fire. Quick, too.
Quick.
Quick.
Nigga smart. Quick on his feet. On his toes.
Mm-hmm.
Top five R&B songs.
Purple Rain,
Mm-hmm.
Cherish the Day, Isn't She Lovely, You Remind Me, and what's the other one? Jodeci song. The Jodeci, All My Life.
All My Life is different.
Different. Hit different. That hit different when I heard it.
Different.
That hit real different.
But that's
when I
Casey
heard
and JoJo.
It is technically Casey and JoJo.
it. Yeah.
It's Casey and JoJo, though.
Yeah.
Well, still, Joe. Yeah.
No. I get.
Because it's tough. It's tough to follow Jodeci, even as Casey and JoJo,
Right.
with something completely different
Yeah. No, that was completely different.
and knock it out the park.
Smash.
Super smash.
Right.
Let's make a Voltron. You're a super R&B artist. We need an art. Every category you put one artist in: the vocal, the performance style, the styling, and the passion of the artist. Choose one vocal in history to make your super R&B artist. What one vocal are you getting?
Luther.
Doom, 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 doom. Okay.
Can sing lead and background.
Yeah.
Master.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved it.
It's something about a nigga that can sing so good, he don't got to do nothing else but sing.
Yeah.
No end.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Yeah. Just sit there and sing.
Just stand there
That's it.
and sing the song, and we are amazed.
Yeah.
Did you see his documentary?
Incredible.
That's how you know
Incredible.
you can sing on a level that is godly.
Yeah. Shout out to Fox for that too. You know, Fox was a producer on that documentary.
No, you know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Performance style.
MJ. I gotta go with MJ.
MJ, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
I
that.
gotta go with
Luther, voice, MJ performance.
So it means it definitely has a Jerry curl.
Motherfuckers gonna die at this concert. You thought motherfuckers was fainting. Motherfuckers gonna go into cardiac arrest at that show.
Yeah.
Yes.
The styling of the artist.
I gotta say Marvin style.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
I gotta say his style. His style.
Why?
Super fly.
He just yeah.
You just own him.
Yeah. His style.
Just own him.
I loved his style.
Yeah. The passion of the artist.
The passion.
Heart of the artist. Who mean it?
You know who I really, really like, bro? Diana Ross.
I love Diana Ross.
I love her, man. Love her.
Love Diana Ross.
But her passion, it was just.
Her passion exudes in her aura.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's her aura. Like,
It's-
like she was diva-ish, but not like super diva-ish.
Yeah. She didn't
have to be.
It didn't feel mean.
Yes.
It didn't feel mean.
She didn't have to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't have to say it. That's what it is.
For a lot of people, it's stated.
Yes,
Right.
she didn't have to say it. She exuded
As soon as she
that.
walked in, you knew
Yeah.
Yes.
Who was in the building?
who's in the motherfucking building.
Yeah.
Roll out that motherfucking red carpet,
Yeah.
put
And
on them white gloves,
Yes.
and act like you know.
Yes. I loved her. I loved her aura.
And who would manage this artist?
Hmm.
Who would manage this artist?
J Valentine. What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck you asked me that for?
That would be so tough though, because I say no to everybody.
You wouldn't say no to that.
I wouldn't. I was like, nope. Let's go get this Jerry.
Let's go.
Spin him around.
And get these white gloves
These
and
white
keep it moving, huh? My
we
man.
got something special for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where you going, Chief?
I ain't saying no names. 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 Where you was? Who you was with? What you did? Don't say shit. I ain't saying no names.
Yeah, somebody had that oil this morning, man.
Woo! The Lord touched me.
You know, we had this very important part of the show now. We tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
The only rule to the game, which is easy for you because you know we know what you come from, is you can't say no name.
Got you.
You still ain't even told us the
Got
name of the
you.
video store.
I forgot the name.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
bet you
But
did.
anyway, go ahead. We were in D.C.
Okay.
This artist I was working with had a show, and her DJ kept messing with me and kept, trying to antagonize me. So I beat up the DJ.
But you can't fight. Okay, yeah, I guess you can.
I beat up her DJ. And the dancers and all the thing was in there screaming, "Get up off of him, please. Leave him alone." Then once the artist found out, she was like, "Why did you do that at my show?" And I was like, "Listen, your man tested me, and I had to show him what it was about." We was in D.C. too. I was like, "Yeah, I really wanted him to know. You in my home city. I'm gonna show you something." And I beat up the DJ
On show night?
on show night,
Before the show?
right before the show.
Was he able to DJ the show?
Yeah, he DJ'd. But he didn't say nothing else to me for the rest of the tour.
Oh, you stayed on tour?
Yeah, he stayed on tour.
Because you're professional, so it wasn't like
I wasn't
you
gonna
didn't
fire
try to
him.
use your power and
I
fire
wasn't
him.
gonna. No, I wasn't
okay,
fire. No, I
We
just had to let him know.
We got to get this little dust up going.
Yes, I just had to dust him up a little
That's
bit.
it.
It's called a friendly fade.
It's called a friendly fade. Niggas have to get back to the friendly.
Go back to your business after that.
And you know, Jay, me and you are kind of like we don't
bother
That's not
nobody.
we don't bother.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like like it takes a lot to really push me over there. But once you do that, there's no turn off.
We here.
Because we didn't get into this to still be doing that.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that a lot of cats don't understand. They try to take it from, oh, I was such and such in the streets and I'm bop, 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 and now I'm going to be this in the music business too. Like, so why'd you get into this then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, now, if somebody pushes you to a point, we're all men, we're going to protect ourselves and we got to handle our business, and that is what it is. But
Right.
that's the part I never understood about where it becomes the bullying. And that's what I'm going to be in this space now.
Right.
Because this should be.
You could have left that shit over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why you've lasted so long
Yeah.
in this space, because you understand, like, okay, some things I'm going to have to handle, but I'm not running around beating up everybody, DJ.
No. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Not
not good for you.
Not even wearing who I was on my shoulders.
On your shoulders. Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good for business.
No.
But
I like
that
the,
one.
I like the friendly fade though. That's just.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was
Let's just get it on.
just
And after we done, cool. You good?
You
All
thought
right, cool. Let's get
you
back to
thought
work.
something was different,
Right.
and you found out something wasn't. You thought it was
He was
sweet
testing
on
you
this
like
side of
that?
the street. Yeah. Yeah. Dang.
He had to be saying some
Yeah.
outlandish shit in order to take you there.
He called me a bitch ass nigga.
No
Yep, that'll
way.
do it. That's where it all
No
is.
way.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He pulled that one out.
What did you do?
What did you do?
What did you?
Tank,
What did you
I
do?
just lost it, man. Like I said, bro, I'm very calm, but once you get me on that side, there's no turn
Calling
off.
you- I've never imagined on this side somebody calling you that. I could never.
I
imagine
couldn't
that.
either. I've never. That's the
Right.
first time I've ever been called that. So that's why it just took me to the other side. I blacked out. Really. I was like, a DJ nigga call you that in front of? Oh, come on, man. I wouldn't even know how to. I couldn't even know how to live without leaving there, knowing
Without
that
that,
I
yeah.
let somebody
Let that happen,
say,
yeah.
that, like
Nah,
that's
we
the
got it.
whole. That's total disrespect from everybody.
We got to dust that up.
Yeah, everybody's gonna disrespect you.
Let's dust that.
Then
Up.
you let the DJ call you that? No, never. So I beat him up pretty bad in front of the dancers and all of that, and that was it. You ever had a friendly fade?
When I was little, I used to have a bunch of friendly face.
As an adult.
At a certain age, people just stopped wanting to fight me.
Oh, you did? With who?
It always starts with Bob. Always started it. Then somehow I
Bob.
get involved.
Oh, you
This
was
is
you was.
basketball shit, and you know what I mean, like, which we don't. Yeah.
Because we fight.
Yeah,
and
but
shit.
you know, and
I always got to hear about. Nigga, you ain't hear about Bob and Jay? It's like, when? It's always convenient that I'm never there. It's always when I'm never there because
and then you know, niggas play hoop together.
They keep
again,
hooping
and-
again?
And it's funny because you've probably been around somebody that happened with, but like you said, that was a moment. I never speak on that. We never gonna talk about that. Like that's shit that happened.
This dude.
Yep.
Let me tell you something.
I already know where this story goes.
No, you don't know where this one's
Not
going.
this one. Okay.
No, you don't know where this one's going. He got somebody to give somebody a friendly fade
Oh, I know that story. See, I
At
do
the
know that
gym?
I know that story.
that was beyond vicious, man.
Yep.
And it was all because of him.
You know, he takes the blame.
Was not because
You took
him.
the blame on that, though.
I take the blame.
You take the blame
because
on that,
that's my friend.
Yo.
But
you gonna let him
I'm not the blame.
Hit you with that ball?
It's the equivalent
you gonna let
to you
him throw that ball?
to you letting the DJ call you bitch ass nigga.
Niggas been disrespectful.
Yo, you gonna let that dude hit you with that ball? Yeah. Oh man.
Nah, it was that's a disrespect.
I didn't even say that.
I don't even know what you said.
Hey, I like that. That's it. Knock him the fuck out.
Jay, you know this story.
I know the story.
Yee!
I know that story. I've been told the story by the people that were there. Everyone that was there.
Well, you might hear that story when your next
Knock
guest.
him the fuck out.
I remember that like it was yesterday, man. That nigga threw the ball in.
It wasn't so much. It was the way he looked at me.
Who? Oh, Jay?
It was the way Jason looked at me. He looked at me. It happened. He looked at me and said, and I said, it was almost like he wanted to let it slide. And he was looking to me to see if it was okay.
Oh, it was okay.
To not let it slide. And I said, not today, brother. Fuck him up.
You know that cost him a lot of money.
I've heard.
Dude, yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard.
It's a lot of money. He sued the hell out of him.
I've heard.
Put
Yeah,
liens
that's
and
not
shit.
a friendly thing. That's not a friendly
That's
thing.
not friendly.
Yeah, that wasn't friendly. They didn't know each other. It wasn't cool like that. Friendly fade is like, hey, man, we got a mutual respect, but we don't really want to hurt each other like that. But, you know, let's go take care of business. Yeah.
Then don't hit people in the face with basketballs. Yeah. On purpose.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
And then sue?
It's wild.
All right. Okay. I got it. For another pod. Brother Terry Ross.
Yeah.
Terry T.R. Ross.
Yeah, there you go, Tank. I like the TR in it.
You are a brother and a friend. You are a name. You are an entity. You are an important piece to this whole universe that we are all a part of.
A great father.
Great father.
Great father.
Love that.
Because that has to be spoken about.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This thing we do takes so much of our minds, of our time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So to say to yourself, I'm going to still be active.
Yeah.
And still, like, we've been in them gyms together with our sons.
Yeah.
We've
Love
been
that.
at graduations.
Yes.
We've been at, like, I know about you going across the border, get your son.
Yeah.
Have to go see it. Like, these are things that a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reasons. But for the guys that do, we always like to give them their flowers for being that.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that.
You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean?
Yeah.
That's a real thing. And that is going to last us longer than this shit is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What our kids become,
Yep.
how they feel about us, how they, appreciate us, man. So, and I love your kids, man.
Yeah, you do.
So, I gotta make
appreciate
sure
it.
I give you that.
I appreciate
I love
that.
that.
Make sure that.
Father to father to father.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love
we
that.
are
Yes,
great
sir.
fathers right
Love
here.
that.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
We know how important it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you, brother. We thank you for your
Yeah.
time, man. We
Nah,
appreciate you pulling up on us.
I love what you guys
hanging
are
out with
doing,
us.
man. I
Yeah.
got the utmost respect for both of y'all, and I just love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
And we'll see you this summer at Carnegie
Yeah.
Hall.
Yeah.
See you this summer.
You understand what I'm
Let's
saying?
do
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm J Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things R&B. Can't say enough about this brother, man. He is who he is. And anytime you hear that name, respect it and appreciate it. Our brother, Terry T.R. Ross.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.